Something extraordinary is happening in the skies over Crimea. Ukraine's drone war is no longer simply about sending one-way attack drones toward a target and hoping a few survive. The battlefield is becoming a contest of radar deception, electronic warfare, layered air defenses, decoys, and increasingly complex attacks designed to overwhelm some of Russia's most valuable military systems. And one location keeps appearing at the center of this fight: Russia's Saky military airfield in occupied Crimea. In July 2026, Ukraine's security service reported repeated strikes on Saky. Ukrainian officials said aircraft hangars containing Su-30, Su-30SM, and Su-24 aircraft were targeted, with preliminary reports claiming multiple aircraft were damaged or destroyed. Later in July, Ukraine also reported striking fuel infrastructure at the airfield. But the account we are examining today describes something much larger: a coordinated drone swarm attempting to penetrate several layers of Russian defenses before reaching Saky. And if this account is even partly representative of how modern drone operations are evolving, it reveals a major problem for traditional air defense. Welcome back to Skyjet Wings. If you enjoy detailed military aviation, drone warfare, and air defense analysis, hit the like button and subscribe to Skyjet Wings, because this battle gets more interesting with every layer. Operation begins before dawn. According to account, dozens of Ukrainian FP-2 type drones rise from different launch areas and begin moving toward Crimea. But there is a twist. Not every drone is intended to reach the target. Some are decoys. Their job is to appear threatening enough that Russian radar operators have to react. As the first group approaches Russian-controlled airspace, early warning radars begin detecting multiple contacts. Some appear unusually prominent on radar, creating exactly kind of threat picture that forces an air defense crew to make a decision quickly. Are these cheap drones? Are they cruise missiles? Are some carrying explosives while others are only decoys? The defender cannot afford to guess incorrectly. And this is where economics of drone warfare becomes brutal. A relatively inexpensive UAV can force an air defense system to respond with an interceptor missile costing vastly more than the drone itself. The account describes Russian S-350 batteries engaging the first wave, while the real attack group remains lower and less obvious. This becomes the first key moment. Russia may successfully destroy drones, but destroying the wrong drones can still mean losing battle. While the visible targets absorb attention, another group moves forward at very low altitude, where detecting a small UAV becomes more difficult because radar returns must compete with terrain, buildings, trees, and other background reflections. By the time Russian operators realize that radar picture contains another threat, the drones have already moved closer to Crimea.
Then, Russia brings fighter aircraft into the battle. Su-30SM fighters are reportedly scrambled to intercept the incoming UAVs. On paper, this sounds completely one-sided. A Su-30SM is an advanced fighter capable of enormous speed and carrying sophisticated sensors and weapons. The drone is slow. But strangely, that difference can create problems. A fighter designed for high-speed combat is not operating in its ideal environment when trying to locate and repeatedly attack a small drone flying close to the ground. The account says several drones deliberately become easier to detect, drawing the fighters away while the main formation continues towards Saky. Again, the pattern is the same. The attackers do not need every drone to survive. Some drones only need to consume time, ammunition, and attention. Then comes the next battle: electronic warfare. Russian electronic warfare systems reportedly begin interfering with the drone's communications and navigation. Control links become unreliable, telemetry drops, and satellite navigation information becomes questionable. At this point, the attack could have collapsed, but the drones continue. The account describes onboard navigation, allowing the UAVs to keep moving toward their programmed destination even when communications become degraded. Then comes an even more dangerous threat: false navigation information. Instead of simply blocking satellite navigation, electronic warfare can attempt to make a receiver believe it is somewhere else. Several UAVs reportedly begin drifting away from their intended route. For a drone attempting to hit a specific military structure, even a relatively small navigation error can turn a direct strike into a complete miss. But according to the account, some of the UAVs compare what their navigation system with terrain information and eventually reject the misleading signal. That leads to another major lesson from this battle. The electronic battlefield is becoming just as important as the physical battlefield. Russia is trying to defeat the drones without firing. Ukraine is trying to keep them moving even when the electronic environment becomes hostile. The swarm then encounters another major defensive layer, the S-400. Several drones are reportedly destroyed, but the survivors continue. Electronic countermeasures further complicate the radar picture, and for a defensive crew, this creates another difficult decision. Fire expensive missiles rapidly and risk wasting them on questionable contacts, or wait for clearer tracking data and allow the attack to move closer. Every second matters. Soon, the surviving UAVs reach the short-range defenses surrounding Saky. Now the fight changes again. Pantsir S-1 systems engage the drones using missiles and cannon fire. Several more UAVs are reportedly destroyed. At this point, it looks as though Russia's layered defense might finally stop the attack, but the remaining drones are already dangerously close. According to the supplied account, some UAVs are then directed against the defensive systems themselves, creating an opening for the remaining attack drones. Whether every detail of that sequence occurred exactly as described is difficult to independently verify, but the broader principle is important. Air defense systems themselves have increasingly become targets in the drone war. And once the final protective layer is disrupted, the surviving drones reach the airfield. The account describes strikes around aircraft parking areas and an aviation weapons facility, with Su-30SM and Su-24 aircraft among the reported targets. That fits into a broader pattern seen at Saky. Ukraine reported striking aircraft hangars there on July 1, followed by another attack on July 3.
Ukrainian officials said at least 7 aircraft were destroyed or damaged in the July 3 operation, although that figure was preliminary. Later, on July 27, Ukraine's security service said a fuel and lubricant storage tank at Saky had also been struck. And the drone campaign has continued beyond Crimea, with further reports in early August describing Ukrainian long-range attacks against Russian military, industrial, and fuel-related targets. So larger story is not simply whether one drone hit one fighter. The real story is how warfare is changing. A defender can possess advanced fighters, long-range radar, S-350s, S-400s, electronic warfare systems, and short-range Pantsirs, and still face an extremely difficult problem when dozens of inexpensive unmanned aircraft arrive from different directions with different purposes. Some attack, some distract, some force radars to activate, some consume missiles, and only a handful may actually need to reach the target for the operation to have strategic value. That raises the biggest question. If relatively inexpensive drones can repeatedly force multi-million-dollar air defense systems, fighter aircraft, and electronic warfare networks into action, how sustainable is the current air defense model? And perhaps more importantly, what happens when these drone swarms become larger, smarter, and even more autonomous? Tell me what you think in the comments. Which defensive layer is now the most vulnerable? Long-range air defense, electronic warfare, fighter interception, or short-range systems like Pantsir? If you enjoyed this analysis, like the video, subscribe to Skyjet Wings, and turn on notifications for more breaking military aviation, drone warfare, and air defense analysis. This is Skyjet Wings. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.